What's up, everybody? Welcome to Draft Junkies, episode 9. We are 1 week away from the NFL Draft. Super stoked. I'm Justin Tribble, alongside Dakota and Jordan Richardson. We're pumped to be here for y'all. Positional rankings, linebackers this week. Probably one of the weakest positions in this draft, would y'all say? And it wasn't tough to come up with a top 3 at all. We all know that. But so, number 1, who you got, Jordan?
Gotta go Devin White. This dude's a 3-down stud, sideline to sideline. He's pretty well everything you want. The more you watch him, at first I kind of was torn on who was better between he and Rokon last year. Yeah. I'm leaning Devin now. I'm thinking he's more, but he's gonna knock your head off. He's good in coverage, effective blitzer. He's everything you want. He's an easy top linebacker.
He's my number 1 guy as well. I really think he's a true defensive mismatch tool. Like, offenses are moving to trying to get these guys to put in mismatch. He can guard tight ends, running backs, even most receivers with 4.4 speed. And I think he's my number 1 overall ranked player in this entire class. I did that recently. I had the exact same grade on him and Bosa. I like a lot more.
Nice. Yeah, for me, he's the leader of the defense. Like, no doubt he's my number 1 guy, but he's the leader of the defense. I love the way he diagnoses plays early. And this guy's just a little bit of everything you can get. He's got impressive range. Devin White's going to give it to you all. And I've said it from the beginning, like, if he's not a top 5 pick, there's a problem. So, definitely a top 5 talent.
He's everything you want in today's NFL linebacker.
No doubt.
Number 2 guy for me, Devin Bush. And honestly, you can say a lot of the same things you say about White, you can say about Bush.
Yep.
Bush, he might not be quite the ferocious hitter that White could be, but, he's everything. He's today's NFL. And the guy is such a leader. Team captain over all kinds of big names there at Michigan. I'll take him at 12 all day long for sure.
He's my number 2 guy as well. When we started this process, I thought that him and White were just light years apart, and then just as more kept breaking down film. He's a lot closer. I got White number 1. I got Bush at number 11. That's not that big of a gap. He's everything that you really need. I'd be surprised if he falls out of top 15. But
Devin Bush is my number 2 guy too, and just sideline to sideline, guys. This smiles me. I was watching last year's film, Saquon Barkley. Like, this dude's just, no doubt, he's going to be one of the best players to come out of this draft. I really think so. I just can't say enough good things about him. Aggressive downhill too. Yeah. I know you said he could, he's not quite the hitter that Devin White is.
Oh, he'll still hit
you. When he wants to be, like,
he still hits you. White's just special.
Yeah, special.
Whole different kind of animal.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, Mac Wilson. He's a tier below these guys, but, he still fits today's NFL. He's quick, he's good in coverage. He's an effective blitzer. My only knock on him is he needs to be more decisive. He kind of gets, chopping his feet a little bit. He's not as quick to react as the other 2 guys. But as far as, the athlete and the player, he's good.
He's my number 3 guy as well. He's one of the better guys. I mean, not White or Bush, but he's really good against the run. I think he struggles a little bit against the pass. The stats kind of overshadow because, like, most Alabama linebackers just put up these gaudy stats, and he doesn't have those. But I think he's a legit second-day pick, somewhere early to mid-second rounder, I'd say.
No.
Yeah, Wilson's my number 3 guy too, and for me, I think he's very underrated. Like, I really do think that there's a lot of knock. You're saying mid-second round. Like, I still think that there's some ideas out there that he could slip into that first round and be that pick. Like, the way that he takes on blockers, the way that he drops back into zone coverage and actually, like, his space. Like, I'm not going to go crawl. Like, this guy, he can be something. I'm not saying that he's anywhere near Bush and White, but I feel like that he has the ability to get to that level. So, I like Mac Wilson.
My number 4 guy, and this is where we're going to start to differ.
Finally.
Jermaine Pratt, NC State. He's a former safety, nice size, nice speed combo. He's a good blitzer, good in coverage. Being that former safety. there was a play during Senior Bowl practices where everybody was kind of, I think a receiver caught it and was running downfield, and all of a sudden you see this big blur, just hustling his ass off. And it was Pratt. When everybody else was just kind of going through the motions, this guy was hustling his ass off. He wanted it. And it just made me really appreciate it. He's not quite Darius Leonard, but I see that same type of player. You know, just the guy that's going to make plays all over the field. He's got big upside.
And my number 4 guy is Voshon Joseph out of Florida. He's, to me, a poor man's version of a White or a Bush. He makes plays sideline to sidelines, and he's really good he's a really effective blitzer. Makes good decisions. I don't want to call it playing possum, but he kind of like he'll like diagnose it and he'll like wait and then he hits it. It's actually really nice to see on film.
My number 4 guy is Blake Cashman out of Minnesota. For me, guys, this guy just rallies around the football. Like, if you see a play made by Minnesota defense and this guy's not the first or second guy there, I'm very surprised. Just the way that he plays sideline to sideline, he's very physical, a lot tougher than people give him credit for. I think that he just keeps climbing up boards. When we started this process, I probably wouldn't have put him in my top 8 or 9. But as this process went on, this guy just keeps coming up boards. He's compared to Leighton Vander Esch a lot. He don't have the arm length, stuff like that, the small stuff, but I'm just saying, he could be something.
My number 5 guy, and you guys made me fall in love with him, T.J. Edwards, Wisconsin. Dude's just playmaker. You know, I said it all in love and hate last time, but he's not overly athletic, but dude just makes plays. 10 interceptions. 10 interceptions from a middle linebacker. That blows my mind. He's just see ball, get ball. You know, he's good in the open field. You know, he was never gonna, you know, blow the doors off the combine like, you know, White or Bush, but man, he's a guy you want on your team.
Love it. Agreed. My number 5 guy is Ben Burr Curvin, BBK, from University of Washington. This guy's only knock because he's a little shorter than the rest of them, but so is Bush. So what? This guy's Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, makes plays sideline to sideline, great in zone coverage. He needs to work a little bit on his man skills, but I really like his zone coverage. He had 176 tackles this past year, just an absolute tackling machine. Like I said a couple weeks ago about Khalil Hodge, this guy is the smaller version of Khalil Hodge, just tackles everything that moves.
Awesome. My number 5 guy is Terrell Hanks from New Mexico State. And, you know, he's another guy that transitioned from safety, and he does need to bulk up and stuff. But, man, the way that this guy can just walk down, pick up guys in and out of routes, he can walk down and guard your slot receivers like, you know, nobody's business. Like, he's a high-urgency football player that motor never stops running. And for me, like, you put on a little meat, bro, he's ready for that next level. So, linebackers.
I feel like I fell in love a little bit more with the class as we started talking about it.
And you mentioned Khalil Hodge, and it really bothered me that I didn't put him in my 5. And because he definitely is my 5 or 6. Like, I like Khalil Hodge a lot. So
I love Terrell Hanks.
So
yeah, I like Cashman.
We're sitting here talking smack about this class before. I'm excited about him, though. I really am. So, positional rankings, that's our top 5 linebackers. Coming up next, we're doing team needs and fits for like 3 divisions, so stay tuned. He said that to me today. Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready to start our team needs and fits for each division. We have gone through the AFC. We've gone through the NFC North. We've got 3 divisions left, and we're about to knock them all out because we're 1 week away, and we really, really want to get this out there. And next week, we just want to have a free-for-all. So, the NFC East, let's talk about it. The Dallas Cowboys don't have a first-round pick, but what are something that, you know, y'all see that they could need and might be able to address in this draft?
Defensive tackle, big need. Not having a first-rounder is really going to hurt that because I think it really tears off after those top first 6, 7 guys. He was a strong safety. I'm not a big believer in Jeff Heath. Offensively,
Tight end to me,
yes.
I think you got to get somebody in there just in case Jason Witt decides to retire again. And it takes him a little bit of time to develop.
He's going to have to find somebody that's going to hire him as an announcer first. Good luck.
And the Zeke needs somebody to
That's what I was gonna
they
take a load.
need a second running back, take some, of the workload away from him. But I'm like you. I think strong safety is kind of their biggest thing.
I really, really want to see them try. I say I want to see them, but
No,
I really want to see them like.
Punter.
I want to see them put like Montgomery, Darrell Henderson, like Miles Sanders, someone like that behind Zeke. And I know it's going to be tough with their drafting and stuff, but you got to get somebody that's like reliable behind him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, there's a lot they could do. Moving on, the Washington Redskins picking 15th overall. What do y'all think about that?
I mean,
I don't think they're picking there. Old take.
Well,
I'm kind of
yeah, I was talking about that earlier.
Here's my thing. They're either not picking there because they're moving up, or they ain't picking there at all because they're trading for Rosen.
Yeah.
Like one or the
Yeah,
other.
it's either they're coming up for Haskins, or that pick's gone for Rosen. So quarterback, obviously, I guess.
Quarterback.
That,
Let's say that surprises us. And they don't take one. Don't take quarterback. What do you see?
edge rusher.
Edge.
I think edge, and I think corner could be a good.
I was about to say
Big,
that.
I think that'd be a good spot for a Greedy. Put him on the other side of Josh Norman, and Josh Norman's getting older, so to take over for a guy like that. But edge, I think could be. I think that'd be a good spot for Brian Burns.
So the New York Giants. I'm going to say this with sadness. I'm not sad, but I'm saying this with sadness. I was wrong about the Russell Wilson thing. But I'm not mad that y'all are not getting Russell Wilson. So, 6 and 17, we know that Russell Wilson's not in play next summer. Like, who's somebody you see at 6?
I think they got it. I don't think they're gonna go. You think they're going in Haskins' direction?
No, I'm off
You off
that.
that?
I'm off that. Like
You on the Daniel Jones trade?
I
I mean, I feel the same
I'm so
way.
sick of these dudes.
No, I was all Haskins. I was Team Haskins at 6, but the more you hear about it, I think they're going to go elsewhere. I think rusher, some defensive lineman, edge rusher. I think that's the way they're going to go now. Now, when you're making a mock, to me, it makes it way easier to put Haskins at 6. Because they need a quarterback, so you put them at a quarterback, but it just doesn't sound like that's the way they're going. So,
17, they do have another first rounder. For me, I like DK here. Like, maybe
at 17?
Yeah, like if he's still on the board, like a lot of people say that he's fallen. If he's still on the board at 17, I like DK there.
Yeah,
like,
you've got your
try to go find a number one you just lost.
Your slot receivers, your inside quick guys with Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, and really Evan Ingram. He's pretty much an oversized slot. You need that big field stretcher, and that could be a good spot
Be a
for
good
him.
fit. So let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
We got it.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
They need better fans.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just kidding.
Picking at 25, what do you see?
Before it was kind of running back,
Yep.
but now that getting Jordan Howard, I think that's. I still think you add another running back.
Yeah, later on.
Maybe your guy Darrell Henderson there.
Memphis.
Second or third, but I kind of see. I still think D-line. That's kind of their bread and butter. They won the Super Bowl with rotating all those guys, and
You on the Jeffrey Simmons train still?
I'm on Jeffrey
Still
Simmons.
on it? Okay.
I think that's the spot.
There's not many times where you're going to get a top 10 player at 25.
No. All right.
But I think it's receiver. Overpaying
And that's
Nelson
been a lot of
Aguilar.
what they.
Golden Tate's gone. I think that's a good spot for. I really like AJ Brown there. I mean, your guy, but I think.
Hollywood.
No, because I want Hollywood on the Packers. That's a different. But I think he fits that slot role perfect for y'all.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually takes over for Alshon. Alshon's what 30, 31 now. So
I love both those picks, honestly. Like, I'd be fine with both of them. For me, I do think it's an interior thing, but I think it's offensive line. Garrett Bradbury. Watch out. Jason Kelsey's
You've
on the.
been on that train
I've
for
been
a
on the train.
long time.
Jason Kelsey's he's pushing the end of it. So get the
Thank
guy
God.
that's compared most.
I just feel like with the whole Jeffrey Simmons thing is you get teams in the 20s don't get chances at guys with top 10
Oh yeah.
or higher talent, you know.
And who else but Howie Roseman to pick that guy, right?
And you got 2 second-round picks,
Yeah.
so why not take that chance and get that stud and, you know, come playoff time, he's lining up next to Fletcher Cox.
So what happens
and
is
just wreck it.
he's going to be right at 25, and then there's 2 second rounds. They're going to pick wide receiver and Terry Holmes, which is cool. It's a win-win.
Win-win.
But all right, so leaving the NFCs. All right, the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. They don't have a first rounder, right? So what are some things? Like, this is a team that's actually pretty damn good. Like, what are some things that you want to see them improve on? Like, what can they add?
I need a center, maybe.
Yeah, you've been preaching that.
Yeah, they need that interior guy. I think they could probably use, which they signed Latavius Murray, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, you know, they had that hammer to go with the, you know, they got the thunder to go with the lightning and Alvin Kamara. But I don't know. There's just, they don't have a lot of
That's a good team.
the holes, really.
They're
Maybe some
another
depth at
team.
receiver.
Receiver,
That's what I was about to say.
cool.
Another team that needs that depth at
Who
wide
else?
receiver.
Yeah, who else scares you besides Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara.
Ted-
Coming out of the
Ted
back.
Ginn deep, but that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still got that.
Is it time? Are we trusting? Are we thinking Teddy Bridgewater's?
I think that's
The
why he
quarterback?
resigned. I think that's why.
Or is it time to maybe look somewhere else?
No comment.
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll move on from them. Let's talk about somebody that does have a pick, the Carolina Panthers. Lots of rumors about them moving up and down this board. What do you like, Dakota?
Edge rusher. They got to replace Julius
Got
Peppers.
to.
They need. I don't think they're in a position at 16 to where they can just sit back and wait.
No.
They need to move up if they want to get a Sweat or a Burns or possibly a Gary, which everything we've been hearing lately has been that he's still going top 10, even though I don't think the tape matches
Yeah.
the potential.
I'll mock him.
They're pushing that.
I'm gonna mock him there, but it makes me sick because I just don't see a
I don't
top
see
10
it.
player. Farrell. I
I
think
like
that's a
Farrell.
good spot.
That's a
for
good,
I
and
feel
that
like
seems like a
if
good
they
fit.
like sit there, I think Farrell could be a good guy for him there. And you hear a lot about offensive line.
Yeah.
Like I keep hearing a lot about Andre Dillard at 16, but Andre Dillard's a superior pass protector.
Yeah.
But what do the Panthers do? They're
run,
running the ball,
run.
and I just don't know if I see that. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the pick, but just looking at what they like to do and his strengths and weaknesses, I don't know that he fits all that well.
Yeah.
But I keep hearing a lot of.
I mean, do we think prior to the draft a couple years ago, Christian McCaffrey fit what they thought? What they
No, but I mean, they're
smash
doing a
mouth
great job.
football? I mean,
No.
I see a lot of them like trading back and taking Kajusty or whatever, and I really like that. Like,
No.
get you a guy who can do a little bit of both. The Atlanta Falcons, they're picking at 14. So
You keep hearing, interior, defensive line, offensive line. I think this would be a good spot for Greedy Williams. I think this is kind of his ceiling.
on how high
Is
you go.
14.
fits their scheme.
He fits
Right on,
it. He's
man.
gonna be pressed. Trufont's getting older. They got rid of Alfred. He's a Cardinal now. They run that kind of old Seattle defense, and what Seattle always had. They had them big corners in your face, and I figured there'll be a defensive lineman or offensive lineman there for them. But if those guys aren't there, that's kind of the ceiling for Greedy.
What about, you're hearing a lot about them thinking about trading Julio. Is this a DK spot maybe?
I think you got to really be on the whole let's trade Julio thing to take a guy like DK.
No. Especially after spending last year's first rounder
Especially
Calvin
when you
Ridley.
have other needs. Like, you better be sure.
And they're really not a team that's too far off.
Yeah.
I feel like teams that are that close, you don't spend it on a DK that, is kind of a
Banking on potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want a guy that's on teams like that, you're going for,
Immediate
in the
impact.
trenches.
Yeah.
That's where guys can immediately help you. Is in the trenches.
I don't think that they would trade back at all, but I like Josh Jacobs here. Like, Coleman's out the door now. It's the Devontae Freeman show, but you don't know what you're going to get from Freeman. Like, they really need that guy who could come in and. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not. But they really need to think about who's it going to be.
They need that second runner.
Yeah.
That offense, especially.
Would love to see Montgomery end up there. Would love that too. So
Be a good combo.
So who am I missing?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, number 5 overall. Devin White. Now, what do y'all think?
I think it's if Devin White's on the board, I think Devin White's the for sure pick.
Yeah.
But if been hearing a lot lately about Oakland, maybe taking him before, maybe that's a spot where they can move back, acquire some picks, and get a Bush.
They could, but I feel like if White goes, they're going to get another need.
Yeah.
I could think because they keep talking about wanting to move on from McCoy. If you can somehow land a Quentin Williams, you don't pass on that. And if somehow a Josh Allen, which I feel like he fits a little bit more of the 3-4 outside rusher. I think that's more his style. But he can get after the quarterback, and you're not, But it could be a prime trade back spot.
Somebody coming up to try to jump New York.
But I think we're all kind of finally on the same page as far as, I say all of us. I'm finally jumping on the caboose of y'all's train with Devin White.
Yeah.
I think that's prime Devin White spot.
Special player.
Hoping so. All right, one more division, the NFC West. Go ahead and let's start with Seattle Seahawks because they just made a big old move. Like, they have picked 21. Lots of rumors that they want to move back. What you got?
I mean, that's he and I have talked about it a lot. I know. I think that's a good spot for the Packers. I think we want to move up. We might have traded with them last year. I think that's a good going from 30 to 21 because Seattle's only got 4 picks.
Yeah,
they want to trade back
and they want picks.
Yeah, and maybe I'm just being silly thinking it'll be the Packers that come up, but we've got that connection with them. We made a similar trade last year with them, so.
It's going to be the Packers or the Patriots, in my opinion.
I see them. I could see them moving back, but if they end up staying there, I think you just paid Russell Wilson all that money. You got to protect him.
That's what I say. You better get something.
Weapon.
You need a weapon.
You need a weapon. Doug Baldwin's getting older. You don't really have much. I mean, you got Lockett, but he's not number one.
Not number one potential.
But I think you gotta protect Russell Wilson.
They be begging for DK to fall there. Is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I think that's a great Noah Fant spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody that can catch passes for Russell Wilson, or someone that can keep him off his ass because he ain't getting any younger. He's probably tired of running for his life.
And defensively, they need another corner on the other side of Shaquem. Which one's the linebacker? Shaquille's a corner.
Yeah, Shaquille.
Right.
I see a lot of Byron Murphy there.
That's a good spot. He fits that.
I love that. Yeah, I really see that a lot.
She didn't like that pick.
Let's wait for her to stop.
Catching that baby.
All right, give me a second.
So
moving on, how about the Arizona Cardinals? Are we all locked in? We set?
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't like it, but we're set?
It makes sense.
I'd go in another direction, but I kind of feel like
Kyler Murray?
Okay, say they do trade Rosen to somewhere in those middle picks for,
there we go. There's something.
Yeah.
There we go. Like, say Washington at 15, they trade for Rosen. Where do they go at 15? Is that a
I say receiver.
DK?
I say you got
DK spot?
Larry's. He ain't playing. You got
I think it's a
Maybe
Noah Fant spot.
I think it's a greedy spot.
Fant.
I think if
greedy.
you, I mean, yeah, they need the defense. I can agree with that too.
Put
It's
it
a
on the
prime spot, 215 right there.
And they got the first pick in the second round. That could probably be a good receiver spot. There's going to be a receiver.
All over the board. With
Receivers are
second day.
It's I really like Kill Harry too.
I really like Nikhil Harry, period.
I think that would be.
Oh my goodness, him staying in Arizona too.
Yeah,
oh man, that's a dream pick.
That's just like if they could get 15, that's not too high for him.
No,
to
I like
me
it.
anyway. I like him.
So, the Los Angeles Rams.
They're kind of like the Saints.
Yeah.
Obviously just played in the Super Bowl.
But they need the defensive tackle help.
Yeah, that's probably their glaring.
Like they need
spot.
the interior D.
And I think probably secondary.
Yeah.
Because Aqib Talib and Peters, I don't think they're under contract
Next year, yeah.
after this. You got Eric Weddle, who's older. He's probably got another year or two. So maybe versatile safety kind of. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think he could do a little bit of everything.
I like Tillery. Just
Tillery's
if they
a
want
good
to bring
spot.
that guy in.
And Rams are one of those teams that if somehow Jeffrey Simmons falls, you put him next to Aaron Donald, and you got,
they just lost Roger Saffold. That could be a prime Garrett Bradbury spot.
Fucking Rams and Eagles. I don't think I have the same mindset.
That'd be nasty.
All right, so the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, they got, they helped themselves getting D Ford.
Yeah.
They need to get after the quarterback. I think they need a receiver. Two's obviously too rich to get a receiver. But you get a Nick Bosa, put him on the other side. I think they're going to like a wide 9. You put him on the other side of D Ford.
They're Solomon Thomas.
They're
a pretty good defense.
They're going to DeForest Buckner. They're going to break some havoc.
I honestly, I don't know if y'all were on this page, but when Nick Bosa was the number 1 pick high, I wasn't sure they were sitting at that spot. I thought they might come back.
Once the Kyler Murray to 1 took off.
Yeah. Then it seemed like they've been locked in.
Then it's been pretty well locked in. But before that, I could have definitely.
So if for some miraculous reason Kyler Murray doesn't go number 1, I can see them kind of drifting again.
Yeah.
If you're not sold on who you want, then get out of there. Because giving up the number 2 pick, you can get whatever you want.
No.
So, team needs and divisions are done. 1 week out.
That's nice.
It is nice. All right, so that's it for Draft Junkies tonight. We're just going to roll through that one. Next week, going to be a free-for-all. We're going to give y'all our bets that we had for each other. If we can find some for this guy.
I got 2 with this guy.
Oh, okay.
I might
Man,
end up shaving my beard.
Uh-oh.
No way.
You're making a beard bet?
I might risk it. I might risk
If
it.
this dude bets I'm in. I want the bets. I get to shave it live on Instagram for our followers, too.
Well, you got to come up with a good one. But I will put the beard on the table for some bet.
I keep wanting to make it right now. But anyway, that's it for Draft Junkies. I'm Justin Tribble. This is Dakota and Jordan Richardson. Until next week, deuces. I wanted to start arguing with you so bad and just